Hi, I'm Kelly and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this pendant. It's more of a freestyle pendant this week. I've put a list in the description below of everything you'll need to make this. It's just really just lots of little beads, and there's a weave at the back. Also in the description below is a link to my website where I sell my PDF tutorials if anybody's interested in those. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and a big thank you to those of you who already have. To make this pendant you'll need 0.8mm wire, that's 20 gauge, and I've cut 3 lengths at 11 inches, that's 28 centimetres. 0.315 weaving wire, that's 28 gauge, and you'll need about 400 centimetres. Today I'm going to be using a variety of tiny beads. I've got 3mm, 2mm and 1mm beads. Tools, I'm going to use your favourite pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters, and I'm going to be using wire straighteners, but don't worry if you haven't got these. There's links in the description below if you're thinking about buying the tools that I use. I've put links in the description below. They're affiliate links for I use the extra fine bent nose, and bent nose is just my preferred pliers. Of course you can use whatever you like. Those are my round nose ones. I went for the shorter round nose ones. And my cutters, these cutters are really good. They get in really close. And there's a link for my trusty old Beadsmith nylon pliers too. I'm going to be working in sterling silver. If you decide that's what you would like to do, then I highly recommend you use fine silver for your weaving wire, because it's so much easier for weaving, because it's a lot softer. Oh, and I wrap all of my weaving wire onto a bobbin. This is a little Beadsmith bobbin. Just gives it a nice weight to work with, and it saves it all flailing around. I'm going to start weaving 4 inches from the beginning of your wires, that's 10 centimetres. We're going to start 3 wraps around the bottom wire, as we always do to attach our wires. And then wrap twice around the bottom 2 wires. Come up between those 2 wires. Go twice around the top 2 wires. So that's our repeat. Twice around the bottom 2 wires. Come up between the bottom 2 wires. Twice around the top 2 wires. So keep repeating that. So I've repeated that 50 times, and I like to go over the weaves, my pliers, get it all nice and flat, and make sure you've pushed your weave together as you go as well, keeps it nice and tidy. We're going to finish off the way we started, with 3 wraps around that bottom wire. I'm going to cut that weaving wire at both ends. Pull it a little bit first so it's nice and tight, and then cut it nice and flush. So that's 50 repeats of that 2-2 weave over 3 wires. So now if you take your weave, I'm going to gently bend it want the two ends to come together. At the top. Like that. So when you're happy with the shape, take the outer wire, take the two outer wires, bend those out of the way. And then take the two middle wires, pushing it together so they get quite flush at the top there. Then I'm going to twist them all the way around like that. So take your weaving wire, and now we're going to add coils to this top wire on the right here. So I like to add coils to the end of the wire. And then slide it down as you work. So keep adding coils to that top wire. So I've coiled about 3.5 centimetres onto there. And I'll cut off the weaving wire from the beginning. And then slide that right the way down onto there. So now taking both of these top wires together, making sure that coil is really pushed down so it doesn't move. I'm going to bend it around and try not to let the wires cross over each other. So we've got the coiled one on the inside. Just going to put my finger on the back and on the front. Try and hold it in place as it goes. And I want to coil around again, so I'm just going to add a few more coils here, and I'm going to bend them around again, sorry. So add a few more coils onto the wire. We're going to have to keep adding coils on as we go now. Added more coils, and now I'm going to hold it at the base there and take both wires and wrap them around again. Because the last pendant I did didn't have any curls in at all. So now I'm making up for it with an extra curly pendant. So now we're going to continue to add more coils onto that single wire. What we should do at this point actually is attach the wires together. So keep pushing your coil along to keep it tidy. We're going to go twice around both wires, hold them in place, and then we'll continue coiling on that top wire. So I've added more coils there. What we're going to do now is take this bottom wire, bend it around this way, and I'm going to pop a bead on it. I'm going to put a 3mm bead on this part. When you're doing curls, it's always good to have something to lean on. So you can always use your finger at the back to support if there's nothing there to lean on to make the curl shape. So I'm struggling a bit with this one, it's in a funny place. So I've added a bead on there, and then I'm going to take this coil wire, follow it around that bead, so I'm going to have to add more coils. So I've added more coils, and I'm just following the bare wire with the coiled wire. When it gets to here, I'm going to wrap around both wires twice to hold them together. Then go back to, oops, didn't realise I was off the camera then. So I've followed the bead, the bare wire, I've wrapped around twice both wires, and then I'm going to carry on adding coils to that top wire. So that's what I've got so far. I'm going to add a few more coils onto this wire. So I've added more coils. Now I'm going to cross my wires over. So this one is coming around this way. And this one, I'm going to curl around that way. I'm going to add a slightly smaller bead. I'm going to add a 2mm bead. I'm going to try and lean it on the weave this time. And curl that wire around like that, really running out of wire length here. I'll add a few more coils to this one. And then I'm going to take this coiled wire and go under the bare wire, if it'll let me. And my plan is to go around the bare wire as well, so I'm going to fiddle with that for a bit because my wires are a bit short. So I've changed my mind on that wire. I like this one coming up, and I'm going to leave this one facing down for now. Make sure you can see my little bead in there. So this coiled wire goes underneath the bare wire, and I'm not going to attach anything down just yet because we've got all these other wires to play with first. So going back up to these top wires now, taking the top 2 wires on the left, I'm going to bring them over I'm going to post them straight through the middle of the weave. Trying not to let them cross over each other. Now I'm going to take this 3rd wire, I'm going to scoop that around as well. I'm going to post that through too to follow it. I don't want it to sit exactly next to them, just a little bit further down. Like that. So now taking the 2 wires and hold them together, bending them together at the same time and don't let them cross over each other. Bend them straight over the front. Curve it around to the right. Got a nice gentle long arc. And then hold that in place. Curve again, keeping the wires together and don't let them cross over each other. Post it straight back through and hold it in place all the time so that it doesn't miss shape. Like that. And then this wire, is going to follow this curve, only I'm going to put the little seed beads on it. So bend it over to the front, and you'll need to find some seed beads that actually fit onto this thick wire, because it is hard to find them with a large hole to fit onto the thicker wire. So I'm going to put about 5 of them on there. Gently curve the wire around to follow the shape. Like that. And then go underneath. Follow the other wires around. You can get nice and tight to hold those beads in place. I'm pressing down firmly onto the beads. Now the bead wire needs to come straight over again, because then that will secure our beads. So that's what I've got so far. And to finish these, I'm going to finish this wire, this bead wire, by taking it around to the back. I'm going to cut it short and squash it down. That'll keep it nice and secure in place. And these two wires, put a dink on my silver, these two wires, bend those over. I'm going to curve them around because I'm going to finish them off now. I'm going to curl this one this way, and the other one is going to curl the other way over there. So I need to secure this with a little bit of weaving wire here. So I'm going to take this weaving wire, leave a little bit of length on there, and then use this weaving wire to wrap around these two. Wrapping 3 times around the bottom wire. And then just here, I'm going to go around both wires twice. And then, leaving a little length on the wire, cut the bobbin free. And I'll take this wire straight through the middle, so we can attach it down to that back weave and hold it all in place. So I'll come between there. Coil around that bottom wire. Very noisy with the trains here today. So I'm going to cut the tail at the beginning of the weaving wire. That's pinned down now. So I'm going to finish this wire into a curl here. And this one, I'm going to add more coils, I think. Feel free to do whatever you want with these remaining wires to really make the design your own. You could add more beads. You could add a big bead at the beginning in the bottom here if you wanted to. So I'm going to take this wire, so I've changed my mind what I want to do with it, and I'm going to post it straight through behind the weave. Holding it here in place so that I don't spoil that shape we've got already. Some weaving wire to the back as well. I've actually twisted my main weave a little bit there. So I'm just adding a few more coils. Just so you can't see the bare wire from the front. cut that off there. I'm going to bend that back around to the front. I'm going to finish that off with a curl there. So I might as well finish those two wires. This one, get this long. And this one about this long. Keeping all my silver for recycling. Then take your round nose pliers. Curling wires with your pliers is something that you really have to learn your own way, really, because I've tried doing what other people do and I can't seem to get my head around it, so this is how I do it. I always, when I'm twisting my wires, I twist them to the left, and you'll grab the tip and twist it to the left and keep hold of it tightly if you want a nice tight curl. Just keep grabbing sections as it goes. Put it in place. If you can watch it as it curls, then you can control where you want it to go. Very curly one for you today. And then this one, I'm going to curl the other way, because we're going this way now. My curls to the right aren't normally very good. So holding it really firmly and doing it a bit at a time. I'm going to curl it around. I'm going to use my like that. So one more wire to go. So take this last wire and I'm going to put it right down. I'm going to curve it over. And I'm going to thread onto it a few beads I've got left. I'm going to put on there 2mm, a 3mm, another 2mm, and then I'm going to take this wire, holding the beads firmly in place, and I'm going to wrap it straight around the back, and I'm going to post it through the weave. Keep your hand on the beads so the beads stay in place. So I'm going to take this bottom wire And to hold that in place where I want it, I'm going to bend it straight around the weave. Put it where I want it to be. Bend it straight around. And squeeze that firmly, that'll lock that in place. So that's held that down. I'm going to cut this weaving wire. And I'm going to curl this wire. So with them around those pliers, holding it right at the tip, and I want it to curl over to the left. Whoops. Curl it over. Pull it round like that. And then this wire, I'm going to curl around there. So I'll cut that one quite short as well. And then grab that one on the tip. And I'm curling that one round to the right. And if you're unsure about anything with what you're doing with your wire, it's just best to do it really slowly. And you can watch it as it's going and say, well, do I want it to be that tight? Where do you want it to sit? It's a bit hard to manipulate silver because it does mark. One of my beads has escaped there. I forgot to mention at the beginning that we're going to need a little jump ring to go through the top there. But there we have it, something different for you today. Making up for not having any curls in my last pendant. You really can do whatever you want with this. It's really just freestyling it, really. You can put beads and coils wherever you like. I left it free of weaves, apart from the initial shape of it. So we could really play with whatever shapes you wanted to add on there at all. And you can do whatever you like with it. If you prefer this, you could do this all the way around. You don't have to do these main curls in the centre. If you prefer the main curls in the centre, you could do more of that with your other wires to bring those down. So it really is entirely up to you how you make it, what you do with it and what you make it with. I hope you found this tutorial useful. I didn't go on too much or under explain anything. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and thanks for watching.